just ran up the stairs. Is there a way to not jump scare everyone when I show my ugly mug? Waiting patiently? You'll have to wait no longer. Good morning. I had it wasn't a lecturer, it was like a tech guy at uni. And whenever he taught you how to do something, he would have birdsong playing in the background, and I always kind of liked that idea. But I probably won't keep it going indefinitely. Actually, I was going to just play some of the night music. I'm really sorry, I'm looking at your name and I'm not... Coney... I think it's the I, J and N combo. But I welcome him. I haven't done one of these in a while. I never know how many people are actually awake. It's Dutch. I should have known. I should have known. The Dutch after me again. Please don't try to pronounce it. Okay. I want to call you Mo then. I'm going to go for Mo. It's Rabbit Mum. Oh, that's cute. Do you own rabbits? You must do, right? Are you fond of rabbits? Oh, hi Patricia. How's it going? It all makes sense now. Oh, a pet bunny. Cute. How long have you had said pet bunny? I've known a couple people with pet bunnies. A mix of indoor and outdoor. I don't know if do indoor. I reckon indoor bunny people probably have opinions on outdoor bunny people and vice versa, right? I reckon there's stereotypes. Probably don't need to explore that. It's just a theory. Someone on Bake Off was saying they had a pet rabbit and they liked one of them and not the other. They're quite personable, got varying personalities. It's 9 years now. It's old for a bunny. It's an indoor bunny. It's free almost 24/7 to hop around. Do they sleep a lot? I was sort of thinking, I was thinking of the logistics of owning a cat. And then someone revealed to me, I was like, what do they do all day? And then someone revealed that they sleep like 18 hours. And just having not grown up with a cat, it just never occurred to me that half the time they're actually just completely docile and not functioning. Gonna get a reference of a beetroot up. I've had trouble with this character in the past. I think it just goes back to my my war with drawing leaves. He sleeps 20 hours. Oh, really? Okay. That's like almost sloth level. He does have some moments where he's running around, but those are just a few moments a day. Mostly during the time we feed him. 20 hours a day. That's the dream, isn't it? That is the dream. They're always talking about the military investigating some new. They've like got a lobster in a thing, and they're trying to figure out why it lives forever, so they can. No, not lives forever. Wait, do lobsters sleep? I can't remember. Is it a lobster? Some creature that doesn't sleep. They're trying to figure out how it does it. But I think it tends to boil down to the fact that like they can like shut half. I think there's a lot of animals that are able to like shut half their brain off, and then half the other brain, and some are just better at doing that than others. I think it sort of boils down to that. I don't think we're wired that way. But anyway, point being, quite like sleeping. I quite like sleeping. I always forget we still have the Nightbot characters. Caroline still says to wish list it. I think Fern set those up. And I don't know if anyone knows how to do it. I suppose people could still wish list it. It doesn't necessarily imply the game doesn't come out. But I was telling the team last night that I was going to do this, and I think they're all asleep. I think there's very few. Used to have more European folks on the team, but I think a lot are over the way. Anyway, point being, I don't know how to use the mod tools, so please don't say anything unbecoming, because I'll just be scrambling around for a while. And I know for a time I wasn't even a mod. I was just friendly fella on the stream. But now I think they've given me those keys. Not that they were ever denying me the keys, but for a long time I didn't even realise I didn't have any permissions on the Discord. I was just a chap who happened to be in there like everyone else. I think I have the label developer, something like that. What a thrill to be a developer. This character used to look a lot more glamorous, and I've kind of toned it down a bit. But I drew this character a long time ago. There's a couple characters, I want to get just a few characters that I've been sort of in the pipeline, get them ready for the next content patch. So that's kind of where I'm going with it now. There's like a purple. Oh, there is a broccoli character. Emerson, I believe. But there's a purple speared broccoli that I've been meaning to work in. Which I'll also maybe work on this morning, I'm not sure, depending on how things go. But I'm having trouble with them. I think broccoli, tricky to draw, tricky to render. I think almost the hallmark of being a good artist is being able to confidently draw something you've not drawn before. Because I know certainly I was guilty of this. You start learning and you sort of... I think most people get into drawing characters, which makes sense. Or at least heads, because you want to create characters, right? Characters are fun. We're human. And then, and like classically in art class, getting kids to want to draw anything else. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to break away from sort of just drawing heads. I mean, classically kids like to draw, I always think this is interesting when kids draw like people. They're like, I'm going to draw my teacher at a very young age, and they'll draw like a head with arms and legs attached. They don't see the body. I think I don't know if there's any like literature on that. Like, why is that what kids see? Or like the classic where they draw the sky and they'll just colour in a bit of blue right at the top. They sort of don't quite have an understanding of the horizon. I wonder if that's because we just tell kids blue, like the sky is up, which it's not strictly true. It's sort of up, but it's also in a lot of other places. Radish. I think, is a beetroot like a radish? In the YouTube chat, hi. Anyway, it's going to be a beetroot, but I think they might be related. I'm not sure. Beetroots are funny things. By the way, I was wondering, how did you have the confidence, in a positive way, to do most all facets of your game as an indie dev? I'm really impressed with your work ethic and overall skills. Maybe because when kids look up, they see legs and arms and faces, but necks and torsos are less important. Oh, hi, Bay. Have the confidence. I don't know that I do, really. I never thought of it as about confidence. I've kind of just always just made stuff and then hoped, I don't know, it would get me somewhere. I don't know. I suppose, yeah, to a point, like when I do the music for the game, I'm I'm saying like, this is good enough. Yeah, I never really thought about that, I suppose. I suppose you just got to close your eyes and press the button. That's most of my days. I don't know if that answers the question, really. I think if it feels good to me and someone else says it's good, then I'm probably, hopefully, making something. Yeah, just going with the flow. Just going with the flow. Let me just figure out, well, maybe when kids look up, they see legs and arms and faces, but necks and torsos are less important. Yeah, I get maybe it's an important thing. Like maybe just a kid. Yeah, arms and legs, though. Yeah, necks as well. Kids will classically draw the head. I did this for ages. Just the head and the body, and you just ignore the neck. Because again, kids just don't see necks, even up to the age of like 8. Love to see a stream on a Thursday morning. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. I kind of forgot it was Halloween this morning. It's not something you don't sort of wake up. Maybe some people do, but you don't really sort of wake up sort of rubbing your toes together. So, oh yeah. Halloween morn. So usually maybe in the evening you remember it. I made a mistake here. It's a beetroot. I mean, they're pretty close to a radish. I wouldn't be surprised if they were similar. Yeah, I've just always enjoyed doing each sort of different part of of the game. I mean, I've got a huge imposter syndrome, which I haven't really shaken yet. I mean, the game went through a lot of different hands, sort of progressively higher up, and I mean like the source code, which is just sort of nerve-wracking as someone that doesn't really, or it's largely taught themselves to code, and it's never gone. I just always have this vision of someone saying, "Look, mate, you've given it a good go. We're really proud of the effort you put in, but you've clearly not done this before." So kept waiting for that conversation to happen, and here we are. But I don't think people don't really dig around source code unless they have to. And people tend to be polite. The shape and colour are different. I just wonder if they're related. If I search beetroot, a type of radish? Oh, the radish is in the cabbage family. So like a cabbage. A cabbage still has like one of these, I'm not sure what you call it, the root, I guess, but we just don't eat it, and then we actually eat the leaves, and we've just bred them to do different things. Is that right? Is beetroot in the cabbage family? Let's find out. Species. It's in the beet family, which is in the Amaranthus family, which is, hang on, was that the Amaranth family is the cabbage family. Okay, they're all kind of, I mean, as I was doing research for the game, they're all plants sort of, I know Amaranth is different. I don't want to get into too deep into this. Right, so if I go cabbage, if I search cabbage, I should be doing this on the stream, really. Where's my browser? Okay. This one? You can vaguely see it. If I search cabbage, it's in Brassica. Was it lying to me? Was it one of these weird AI things that just lied? Oh, here we go. So the family Brassica. Wait, hang on. So I googled beetroot, a type of cabbage, and it told me. Oh, I'm getting a different link now. Oh, that's interesting. It's giving me different results based on the browser I'm using. The two belong to different plant families. The amaranth and radishes are part of the, along with cabbages, horseradish, and kale. Okay, they're different. Glad we concluded that. That's funny that they look so similar. But a radish is a small turnip? Because I feel like turnips look pretty similar. Yeah, come on, they've got to be. And then a radish. Are turnips big radishes? I'm going to say yes. Aha. Oh wait, but that's in the brassica family. Which is the turnip. But not the radish? Hang on, the radish was in the... The radish was in the... Oh, it is in the brassica family. Okay, so radishes and turnips, same. Beetroot, not the same. Okay, we're there, we're there. I wouldn't want to try and get sugar from a radish. Good point. Turnips and radish are so close too. They taste similar as well. They've got that peppery. They've got that peppery taste, don't they? I think, but like a classically. A turnip a bit less so because it's less big and sorry, a turnip is more big. It's bigger and therefore has less taste. Like cherry tomatoes have a loads of flavour, don't they? You know, you know what I mean. Oh, I should maybe have used the colour of this stalk for the. One day my tablet's going to die. It's going to cease to function. Happy Halloween, Paddy. Welcome in. So yeah, I'm going to watch... Tonight I'm watching... I've forgotten the name of the film. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think I said this on the... There's a rabbit on my desk. Oh, this. I must have got this actually, like, after the first stream. I, like, watched back the VOD just to make sure everything was okay. And, every time I laughed, it, like, blew up the microphone. And I was like, oh, God, I can't. Considering that laughing at my own jokes is, like, something I'm known to do. I had to invest. But it's also pretty cute. Big fluffy. And absolutely it shed everywhere when I first bought it. I remember I was on a call with Alex, who used to work for the community management. And I was like, someone had knocked on the door and they came in, it had arrived in the mail. And I was really excited to get it and I ripped it open. And little hairs just went all over the room. And continued to do so for about a week. And now it's calmed down a bit, fortunately. Yeah, we want to muffle the Louis clap moments. It's funny how our ears. This isn't funny at all. Like our ears don't have plosives, do they? So, you know. So we just assume that microphones wouldn't, but they do. They aren't our ears. I wonder why that is. I wonder why our ears don't. I mean, there's probably a million reasons. What's the radish called? The radish is called Marlene, I believe. As is foretold by the document I wrote 6 years ago, with all the characters preordained. Which I've only strayed from because I accidentally misnamed one of the characters in the book, and then figured I had to roll with it. So 2 characters had their names swapped. I don't know if I ever revealed that. Not that it... I don't think it matters at all. I think maybe we lost a bit of alliteration somewhere. I'm not sure. But I downloaded this document a while ago that just has like every name ever in just one big .txt file. 2 TXT files, one for masculine names, one for feminine names. And it's quite a useful thing to have, actually, because you just scroll down and pick out names. And so I did that for the characters and the stars. Do you have caterpillars in the game? Good question, actually. I was considering whether... because I was going to maybe today draw some critters. Here we go, there's Mr. Stag Beetle. Aha! That looks like a caterpillar. But he doesn't look finished. So maybe not. Maybe I never committed to putting him in the game. Stag Beetle's a little bit rough. Some of these are so small. Let me open the data files. Because I think there's like an errand that revolves around an earthworm, and I can't remember if I ever actually got them in the game. Then how did the radish get a hole in its leaf? Good question. Good question. They're there. We just don't have the technology to see them yet. Control C, critter, caterpillar and earthworm. They're not in the game yet. Yeah. So, I don't know if anyone wants to see me draw an earthworm though. Yeah, that's a pretty ropey earthworm. I could do better than that. Pretty ropey. It's too big as well, really. I don't know what their little collars... really represent. I can tell I drew that a while ago. Okay, I don't want to make this a leaf drawing stream. Because I know how bad I am at it. But maybe it should be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just avoiding. Maybe it's avoidance. Okay. I'm going to open up the other character I wanted to work on. Quite happy with the I guess the veins in the leaf there. I don't think Marlene's too far. The different radish have different amounts of white depending on their ripeness. None of it's a ripeness thing, or like a like do they grow? Is it just how, like, does it grow beyond its red top? I don't know. I don't know if you were here for the research on turnips and radishes, Paddy, but concluded a beetroot is not related to either. And the radish was in the... I'm not doing it. We'll leave it. Actually, no, hang on. It's in the brassica family. Okay. I was going to Google... Oh yeah, purple spear broccoli. Oh, so many browsers default you to Bing. Ah, you missed it all. You missed it all. I'm willing to bet, though. I'm willing to bet that purple spear broccoli is also in the brassica family. Oh, it winds me up as well. Google doesn't put... I swear it used to be you'd search something and Google would put Wikipedia like right at the top. I swear that was a thing. It is. Look, we're back here. Wow, it all comes back. I feel like I've been... No, wait, but it's different. Mustard and cabbage. And then... So what's this? Brassica rapa. Rapa? I like, do you ever... I've got so many of these, like... If I was a hip-hop artist, but you had to pick something from the natural world as your name. Brassica rapa. It's a pretty good one. Widely cultivated in many forms, including the turnip. So wait, the turnip. So are these two different things? Or am I too deep? The turnip's in the brassica. And wait, beetroot was what? It's not gonna send me to the Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Yeah, okay. Beetroot, totally in the other, planet, totally other different planet. We can ignore beetroot, but I don't know. I can't quite figure out. This is in this family. Brassica. Oh, here we go. Ah, family brassica. Okay, we've done it. We've come full circle. Cool. Everything's a brassica. Everything. Family, genus, species. Thank you. I always get mixed up. Where were we? Purple speared broccoli. I did just have it up and I lost it. Purple speared broccoli. So again, I probably drew this character a while ago. In 2020, maybe 2020. Could have been 2020. But I'm not too happy with it. I must have iterated it a few times. I've taken their eyes off. Sometimes in frustration I just remove their eyes because it gets... Yeah, we can do better than this, I think. King Philip came over for ginger snaps. Oh! That's pretty good. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. I think Paddy did biology. Did they teach you this in biology, Paddy? But thanks, Barry, that's useful. Prince Philip. Oh no, King Philip. I feel like I'm going to misremember Philip, and that's where it's going to throw me. But as long as I... The phylum as well, that's the hardest one to remember. They didn't do that? You did a different type of biology. Hi Valiant Cheese, how's it going? I don't know whether to make them like... They're so thin is the trouble. I might just go broccoli and then just give it... I suppose that's what I've kind of done before. I had a nice day today. Hung out with the Australian magpie family that's adopted me. I like magpies. I think they're sharp. I wonder if... because they steal things, don't they? Supposedly. At least so the legend goes. But they've never stolen anything from me, so they're good in my books. Just wondering if I could take something like this. This is quite good. Australian magpies aren't related to northern magpies. What? They're not even corvids. What? Australian magpies. They look a lot like magpies. Do they? I could see... Here we go. They're going to be in the Brassica family, I reckon. You want to be on the right side of the Australian magpies. They're very territorial. Ah, okay. And it's just Australia, is it? They don't stray far from the path. They are the Beastmaster Hawk. Ah, it all makes sense now. Okay, I'm going to take this as reference. Thank you, Burpee. This could be fun, actually. This could be a fun character. I think there might be a little... I like the idea of these, though. And I could just make them a little bit purple. Today is the taxonomy and classification stream. It always is. I don't know. I feel like the only reason I don't do this on the Tuesday streams is because I know I just don't want to bore people's heads off. I spend too long. I learned so much about taxonomy doing the Garden Path. General taxonomy. There was one stream where we were going deep down into raccoons and because do you ever just think like, what is a hedgehog? Like, because your brain immediately thinks, oh, they must be related to like echidnas, but they're not. And there's something like moon rats. I'm going to do this one last time because I'm sure we did this before. But if you go and mate, are the moon rats in? Wait, if I go right, hedgehog. There he is. God, they're so cute. Okay. And then the family. Here we go. Yeah, hedgehogs and moon rats, which is this fella here. Doesn't look terribly spiky, but I guess that's not. They're not rodents. They resemble rats, but are not rodents. What makes hedgehogs so cute? And yet that moon rat, he was alright. Just feel like my monkey brain wants to protect that hedgehog. Depends whether or not you see them as a threat or not. Studies, Fred suggests this. Suggest they strongly profile specific characteristics. Tenrex? Small mammals belonging to the species. What are these? Whoa, I just saw there was an elephant. No, this can't be right. Is that a mole and an elephant? A super order. Oh, okay. King Philip. I'm trying to remember it. Trying to not look. Came over for ginger snaps. How could you extend it? Last. Oh, there's no day beginning with a D. Last December, King Philip. Elephants' closest relatives aren't what you'd expect. Super cute critters. So an elephant is a type of mole. I think that's what we've learnt this stream. and they're all brassicas. Like a broccoli hydra, sort of. We're gonna start. I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna be great. It's not gonna look as bad as this thing on the left. It's gonna be better than that. Somehow. Molephant. Molephant. And there's clades as well, isn't there? Which is just is a clade the thing where we just as humans decide that there's something we think makes them similar to each other. Is that a clade? I can't remember. I know this all from that video I always talk about, that how to identify a seal. Maybe that's where it all stemmed from. My interest in taxonomy. I remember like back in 2018 maybe I was researching stuff for the Garden Path and just like realising that like so many things are related. Because I was like doing all the herbs and I realised so many of them are in the carrot family or in the ginger family or in the mint family. And that's kind of why I did the game how it is. Not a botanist or biologist, but from the outside Brassica seems like this dumping ground. I love it. Because I think these are like little cabbages, aren't they? These little things at the top, effectively. Like Brussels sprouts. They're like a cabbage, then a Brussels sprout, and then like the top of a broccoli. They're all like the same little sort of collection of furled leaves. That's just how I've understood it in my brain. But I could be totally off the mark. Need a good base for the face. I think that's right. I think it's right. My poor computer is heaving at the moment. I feel like it's not usually. Maybe it's because I've got so many browsers open. Oh, it's calmed down now, I've just heard it. Clades come out of a genetic mapping and realising that the classic order family genus species is making completely arbitrary distinctions as to what is different. Oh, okay. I see, okay. So generally when we classify species, things that are alive, that's traditionally not done through genetics, is that right? Cladistics is relatively new. How do you guys know all this stuff? Which is why you start getting all this superfamily suborder stuff. Okay. Genetics is relatively new too. Oh yeah, in the scheme of things, for sure. I like that they might have like this little little unwelcome sprig of broccoli coming out the side. And I just need to figure out a way to convincingly render out the tips. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm going to watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers tonight. So I suppose that's relatively... Last year I watched that Spider-Man film that people really like. Where there's like a T-Rex Spider-Man or something involved. Saw that one. He was up in there. Yeah, they were missing a trick. There was no cabbage Spider-Man. Which I think is where the film started going wrong. For me, at least. That's how I know this stuff. A party of 10. Welcome in, guys. Hi, how's it going? Oh my word. Prepare for haunting. We're here for your snacks. Guys, welcome to this taxonomy stream. I hope you're interested in... I hope you're interested in how many things are related to cabbages. And moon rats. But thank you, hostess. Mizaki, thanks so much for the raid. How's it going, everyone? Happy Halloween. Do more than one set of dies. Don't just do one festive. I don't really want to go down the route of many faces. I don't want to do the Hydra thing. I don't think. Hope you like all the types of broccoli out there. I can only name you 2 off the top of my head. Is anyone doing anything for Halloween? I still haven't sort of wrapped my head around this idea that, like, someone was on Bake Off the other day and they were like, I can't wait to start trick-or-treating or something. Sure, are they doing it with, like, are they doing it with kids? I swear I don't. It's just not something I thought about, just stepping out the house and going trick-or-treating. I don't think people would take too kindly to me just sort of wandering around taking people's candy. How was artwork going this morning? I think it's going okay. We drew, well, I sort of rendered a little bit of this beetroot character, but the leaves look terrible, so don't judge that. And now we're going to redo this purple spear broccoli character, who I've always had trouble with. Thank you. One day I'll just be able to close my eyes and just draw leaves in a really satisfying a way that you look at and think that looks like, 1 looks like a leaf, and 2 makes my brain happy. But after all these years, I've still not figured it out. I might be able to get. Oh, we should definitely add. Definitely add some kind of leaf. There's some here is kind of, yeah. So well maybe one here maybe. The convincing leaves dream. We've all had it. We've all been there. Stirring in the night. How many? Is it literally just you and YouTube, Paddy? I don't have my numbers up. I like YouTube as a place to stream, as a place to watch streams. I like that you can rewind. That's about it, actually. Skipping around on YouTube is nice. It really is. It really is. I'm just going to draw a little face on this guy so that everybody watching sort of immediately starts. There. See, it's all making sense now. Okay? We can already start. We can already start projecting our hopes and worries and fears onto this broccoli. I was just telling my chat that I can't wait to start the garden path in the new year. I haven't played since the Kickstarter beta, is that right? Man. Wait. Do you know when you played the Kickstarter beta? I mean, we've come a long way. I mean, every year it goes a long way, I think. But yeah, hopefully, I feel like I always said this, but I feel like a frog in a boiling pot when it comes to the game, because sometimes I go back to, I see old footage of it and I think, oh my word, I can't believe it used to look or work like that. So I played the first month or two after the codes went out. Oh, okay. It's been a while then, it's been a while. So hard to have perspective when you're in the middle of it every day. No, exactly. I posted like some old footage to my Blue Sky just to kind of get it up and going, and just the UI was in all different places, and the text was tiny and nightmare. The worst thing, actually, there's times when you look back at old footage and think that actually looks like some part of it looked better, and you think, oh god, where have I gone astray? I know the grass used to have like unreasonably high textures, and I think most of the game's rendering was just rendering out the grass. I've slowly optimised it over time. But yeah, the grass used to look really good. I don't know if it was worth it, because it probably halved the frame rate. But I find it doubly complicated because back at the beginning, I'm already laughing at what it'll be. Oh, imagining, sorry, not laughing. So seeing the future version in my mind, it's informing my impression of it. For what you're working on? I've not played since some late 0.4 beta. Have you not had a chance to drop in, Sparrow? Well, the game's there for you. But Sparrow was OG, helping me find bugs. It's a very early version of the game. Building the foundations. I would be. I mean, if things ever do work out such that you can have another go, I'd be very keen to know what you think, just in terms of, where you think it's gone. Oh no, I think, games are such a... Yeah, I mean, I drift in and out of games all the time, so I totally get it. It's such a... Yeah, you almost need to... I mean, at least for me, like, if I'm in a bad spot, I don't go to games necessarily. Maybe there's other people who... They're only playing games when they are in a bad spot. I don't know. But it's just, I totally get that it's... You got to work your way through different mediums depending on the way of the world. For my work, when I'm doing early prototypes, I'm seeing more of the stuff in my head. Yeah, I totally get that. I think actually the garden path, it looks a lot like what I envisioned in my head, like way back when. And there was a long time when it didn't. So it's kind of funny how it kind of ended up like that. And maybe that is just having sort of tweaked it a little bit for so long. Maybe it's all just kind of averaged out. Sorry, Paddy, I missed your message. Does it have roots? Not too sure what you mean by that. I mean, the character... I remember at a time thinking there should be like a Pikmin thing where if there's a villager visiting the garden, you have to like physically pluck them out the ground. But it kind of didn't make sense. It didn't make sense with kind of the way I envisioned sort of the lore of the game and stuff, because they would be being born then, I guess. And they'd have to have new memories or something like that. I just felt like it didn't... It's also a visual nightmare to implement all that. I've only read you've only read my first message. What does the bottom of the broccoli look like? Oh, I see. Before it's been snipped off. Good question. Sorry, I missed that. I feel like playing... Oh, we'll look at that, Paddy, in a sec. We're going to Google exposed broccolis. We're going to find out the truth. I feel like time for playing games is the first thing I sacrifice when some aspect of my life balloons. Yeah. Definitely the same for me. I'm not even sure what we would search. Oh, I'm streaming the stream at like full quality. There we go. That's going to calm it down. Back to myself. Why was I doing that? Okay. 1080p though. What is it doing? Broccoli. Right. I'm not even sure what I would search. Broccoli. Cross section? No. Oh, there you go. So I guess we just cut it there. Or does it taper down like that? I don't know why that's so funny. I usually find times in my life when I don't want to play games, and then 5 minutes later, me and my Chen army chunking up midnight. Yeah, and then you realise what it's all about. Oh, so you're saying you look at your old work and you think, 3D modeler and Unity dev. I like playing guitar and I started learning how to mix music. Mixing is a... Mixing's a whole world. I'd love to like sit in a room with a mixer and just go over my work one time. I think I would learn a lot. Cheers, Paddy. Have a good one. It's only normal healthy to have a lot of interests. Definitely. What's this game about? It's about making vegetable friends. Sort of. But it's very much a sort of experiential walk through the woods, smell the roses. Cozy game? Yeah, cozy game. Has broccoli got a smell? Certainly does when it's boiling. We've all been there. Yeah, I always just say to people, like, I feel like when when I started working on the game, like, cozy games wasn't really a thing. It was a thing. But I didn't realise it would become this sort of whole... It's kind of like subgenre, isn't it? Which has just ballooned. But the number of people that... There'll always be some YouTuber who's made a new video called Cozy Games Are Dead or something. Cozy Games Are Done. And someone will send me that. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on the attention. but I got to keep moving. Cozy Games is a big whole thing now where people argue what is and isn't cozy. Yeah. A lot of us are stressed out and just want to vibe. I think that's kind of the idea. But I wanted to make, because there was a lot of I think they were called cozy games at the time. Maybe it was wholesome games. I think a wholesome game was more the term at the time. But it was all kind of bubbles and rainbows and singing donuts and bubblegum and stuff. And I wanted to make something with a little bit more of a softer palette, I guess. What's an example of something that's like not deemed not cozy? Maybe the mechanics. I mean, I totally get the thing of like his Stardew Valley a cozy game, because so much of it is like the work, right? I can imagine through mechanics arguing that. But like my girlfriend, she's the kind of person that wants to relax by doing work. She wants to play a game that, you know, has lots of values and numbers and makes you feel like you're in control, you know. Different strokes for different folks. If that's how you want to relax. Whereas I'm definitely more in the camp of like very slow moving imagery. I watch horror movies to relax. Yeah, I know there's dozens of us. I switch off a bit when people start trying to define stuff too rigidly. I remember coming across trying to establish the boundaries on what can be in a game. Challenge hardship that's overcome. Oh, okay, yeah, I could see that. I think it's just being upfront about what the kind of game is. I don't think it doesn't make sense to sort of maybe if you're marketing yourself, I don't know. Different things can be cozy, right? So many different things. This is where you come for the heart. The dynamite takes. Comes down to taste. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. But just I guess it's the scenario of like say you want a new cozy game, and I guess there would be like a, it would categorize it. You know, there'd be a category. I guess people sort of arguing. You know, are you being tricked into buying something that's... But you know, I think as long as you're upfront about it, I'll be curious. Oh, Cheese, you're in Australia, right? Oh, we were just talking about magpies. I got paid a load of Australian dollars the other day. Just funny. I need some financial advice. No, I'm only joking. I can definitely get someone being upset if they picked up the game expecting to be comforted and felt confronted. Oh, no, yeah, no, I think for sure. We can all agree on that. Enjoy your pineapples. Oh really? No, it wasn't cold hard cash, unfortunately. Cold hard Aussie dollars. But we had the budget in the UK yesterday, and I was sort of expecting. I was like, oh no, I'm about to get paid. Oh no, I've just had broccoli on the stream. Guys, you got to tell me this. Oh no. How long was that? A little while. Okay, I was drawing something, I promise. AUD to GBP. Basically the same. Okay. How many people tuned in? It wasn't during the raid, was it? You guys didn't just see me open up broccoli and then just sit there looking at it. That's the trouble. I've got my monitor, but it blocks up so much of the screen. Okay, monitor stays on screen. It wasn't that long, okay. Oh, what's this guy doing? Oh, cool, he's looking at broccoli, that's cool. I wonder if he'll do it for much longer. Yeah, to be fair, if you're not a broccoli fan, I'm not sure what you're doing here. Do you think there's this whole thing of like, you know how when you're a kid and you don't like all the various vegetables, it's like a standard thing, obviously, that it's not just that they've bred, it's not just that you grow up, but also they are actually breeding all the vegetables to like taste different. So I've always wondered if I like to have more sugar content, I think. So I've always wondered if I ate the broccoli of yonder, if I would still dislike it or not. Because apparently Brussels sprouts taste very different to what they did like 15 years ago. But how do we prove that? Is there a Brussels sprout locked away somewhere, frozen in time, ready for comparison? Or is it just what is it just what big farms want us to believe? The SI unit. What's it called? Where is it in the world where they've got the is it related? Where they've got like all of the platonic ideals of like everything that's ever existed? Where is that? and then a YouTuber like tries to make a chocolate cake out of everything and it tastes disgusting because nothing's got any character. Something like that. We've all been there. Yeah, I feel like Anne Reading has done it. I think they've been retired and all the S derived mathematically. So SI unit. Yeah, wasn't there? Yeah, there used to be like the kilogram, and it was like losing weight or something. Is that right? Yeah, I can't remember. How do they do it now? Standard. It's originally. Oh, that makes so much sense. To make it based on water, right? So what's this? What's going on here? What's in the dome? Massive news. Kilogram redefinition heads into crucial test. Is there? Oh, no, I was trying not to spend too long on it. Massive news. Oh wow, they got the whole thing. Oh boy. Okay, we're not going to spend too long on this, if any time at all. The definition of a kilogram fundamentally changed from an artifact to a constant of nature. Because of the Planck's constant, there you go, that's what you said, relates to photon energy to photon frequency. The new definition relates to the kilogram. The new definition relates the kilogram to the mass equivalent energy of a photon. Oh, shoot. Okay. So what was wrong with the water thing? Control F water. Does water weigh more if it's hotter or something? Surely not. It was originally intended to be equal. What's going on here? Okay. Going back to broccoli. The thing I always liked about units who derived from things that you could find in human existence. Yeah, I feel like water feels like I feel like I would base everything on water. It feels very earthly, right? Does water change weight? I don't know. A person in a desert could still use those measurements and they'd be meaningful. It's hard for a person in a desert to measure the mass of a photon. I'd go one further and say impossible. Unless someone knows better. We've all been there though, you're in the kitchen, you don't have any scales. So you just grab the nearest photon. Do some calculations. But even if it was water, I'm not sure what I would do. Grab the nearest scale, squint a bit. Can you hold on to a photon? What happens if you... I actually don't know what a photon is. Like, what is it really? What is it really? Is it a thing? Can you... Particularly as photons are massless. Oh no. How did they not think of that? How did that not occur to them? Guys. We've just based our entire system on this thing that's massless. It's a difficult question to answer because the photons are impossible to describe. Okay, so... What are birds? Are they a kind of moon rat? Yes. Wait, how do you weigh a kilogram from a photon? I don't know why that didn't occur to me how crazy that was until just now. Is that not... Wasn't there to do with resistance? I'm sure they've got it all figured out. The water stuff is good for everyday life. When you get down to ultra-precise scientific measurements, you need something better. See, that's it. It's always the scientists. They're always taking it one step too far. They're not thinking about the average Joe like you or me. Spend a lot more time in everyday life. Everyday life, you go on Amazon, you get a Salter scale. And you put something on it, I guess. There's a better way to do these. Nothing really changes as far as everyday life is concerned because the new ultra precise definitions are made to match the value of the old ones. Okay. I haven't changed noticeably. Started using I'm standing at the moment. I don't know if anyone noticed. But that's something scientists have got to decide, is how much standing should I be doing in a day? It keeps changing. I think the gist always comes to variety, right? You should just be moving around, and if you're doing one thing for too long, reconsider. I kind of like the idea of working being a standing, something I do while I'm standing. But I usually get tired by lunchtime. So. I used to use them a lot more. I moved to this place and then just kind of fell out of the habit of it. It's that kind of thing, like 99% of ending up like doing a run or something is actually just wearing the clothes and stepping outside, and then when you're doing it, you're like, oh, this is alright. It's a bit like a standing desky. I feel like, because I've got the hand crank one, so I'm always just sort of put off doing the hand crank. But then when I end up actually standing, I'm like, oh, I could do this. You look up the definition for a meter, it's really arbitrary wavelength. I was in turn trying to fix down I'm really bad at the numbers of zeros. 10,000th of the distance from the equator to the North Pole through Paris. Precisely? I wonder how they just. Why Paris? Oh, isn't that where? Oh, wait, that's where the kilogram is, isn't it? So that's the place where they do all this stuff, is it? It's the French. Yeah, I needed a desk because I was moving out. This was 8 years ago or something. And so I got this one because it was quite trendy back then to get a standing desk. And I thought, well, if I've got to buy a desk anyway. It's all being done in Paris. 1% out. That seems like a big... That seems like a big number. Oh, I was going to make this tops purple, wasn't I? I wonder if I can cheese it. It is very neat. It's very neat. And it's probably done a lot of good. Where would we be without standards? Seconds pendulum? It's funny that if you blend purple into green, does this make sense? If you blend purple into green, you kind of get white. Like here looks white. Is that just because of the... If I'm adjusting the hue there? It's more like 0.2%. That sounds more reasonable. It's probably still way beyond what it should be. I don't know if just cheating it with blend layers is gonna be the way forward. Oh. There's like a million blend layers and there's never the one that you want. If only it could read your mind. Some of these are kind of cool. Ooh. Where's the psychic blend mode? Heat glow. It's kind of... I might need to reference Purple Spear Broccoli just to get the colour a bit more accurate. And I'm sorry for the lighting. I don't know if anyone really cares, but because I'm in temporarily, quote unquote temporarily, while we're going to paint the office. But it's one of these things you put off. Every day you don't do it, and then you suddenly realise 3 years have passed or something. It's not been that long. But I'm hoping we don't get to that point. I do like being in here though. It's cosy. But it's a beautiful day in the UK, and all the light just comes in from behind me, so it means I have to sort of draw all the curtains. Good old Tenrecs. Just when you think you saw the last of a Tenrec, they're back. They make a comeback. And they're as good as you remember. They're very purple. Best way to do this. I did the leaves wrong as well. The middle of winter, the sun's low enough that it comes in the window behind me. Tons of glare on my screen. Yeah, I get so much glare. It's the kind of thing you don't think about, and when it's happening, it's just like the end of the world, isn't it? Can I draw the underside of a leaf? I've done this before. I kind of want a leaf here. Like that, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe smaller at least. Maybe a little one up here. I think what makes it feel like the underside of a leaf. Definitely want the lighter colour. It's that kind of it's where it sort of V shapes at the end. I want to capture that somehow. But yeah, we had an old loft hatch, kind of just not quite above. Maybe it used to be in the shot of the old how I used to stream, but and I don't know how long the hatch itself had been there, but it was basically like a thin sheet of plywood dividing us between whatever on earth is going up, up in the loft. And we'd cut a piece of decently thick wood and insulated it, and I just had that sort of sitting next to me for probably over a year. It's just one of these things. But yeah, there was just like, if there was a windy day, I'd be like on my computer and there'd be like brick dust flying around. A really windy day, I should hasten to add. Good times. And I think brick dust, probably not the best thing to be inhaling. Would be my uninformed reckoning. Particularly one that's been up in a loft. Bricks on the lung. But no, I was all PPE'd up. But yeah, the amount of dust that's up in your loft. Well, we had work done up there is the thing, so I did the insulation on one because we got a weird house. Like last stream I was talking about this, but our roof is shaped like this, like this. So this is our house door. So all the rain collects there. But then the loft itself is split like this. And one has been converted with a light that they used as storage, and I actually did the insulation in there a while ago. And blimey, it's like I'm glad I don't really have claustrophobia, but if I did, it was like these huge rolls of insulation just squeezing into the tightest little corners. Because I suppose, yeah, if your roof is shaped like this, you've got quite a lot of room to move about, right? And you don't have two lofts, which I do. So I think I prefer this, but instead it's like this. So we've got two little lofts. Anyway, this is where I work. My desk. And there's all the brick dust coming down. Back to blend layers. Yeah, I think that's all of them. I've done them all. I feel like there's just one. I feel like there's a colour one that I want. Colour HSL. It's fine. It's fine. We'll need to do the actual face soon. Diagram of house bad. We see the windows behind you. Could you discuss both broccoli, what you like and dislike about each? Oh, what's purple head and... No, that was my... Hang on. This isn't where I'm working now. This is where I was working before, you see. Right now I'm in here. And my desk is facing, it's like this. And I'm sat here. You know. Oops. Purple spear broccoli is just sort of more expensive broccoli, isn't it? I suppose A little bit sweeter, maybe? Is it sweeter? Not nutrition-rich plants. Oh, this one. I feel like we've got a lot more dynamics on this one. I'm not sure what the term is, but there's a lot more shape interest. I feel like there is an art term for that. I do want to get... I'm going to add more broccoli head to this shortly. I mean, it's mainly that, I suppose. I just wanted, this was kind of just like you draw a square, and then you sort of shade it so like there's bits coming off. But I think I wanted just something a bit more. And also the relation of the... I mean, broccoli isn't really like this, is it? It's not like a bunch of cotton candy on the top of this. So I do want to... I mean, I'll work on this over time, but I'll get it a bit more blended in. Nutrients, though, the nutrients of the two different broccoli types, God, couldn't even tell you. Who could say? It's all subjective. I'm guessing broccoli has flowers. Unless those are the flowers. Okay. But there's like a thing, you get taught, it's like a thing I've seen. Like if you're drawing a scene and you're doing some rocks, you don't just draw like a rock that looks like this, and then a rock that looks like this, and then a rock that looks like this, right? You want to do a big rock, you want to do a little rock, medium-sized rock, you know? And I feel like with this, you just got sort of 3 identical stalks. Yeah. So I can't know what you call that as a thing, but it's a thing. Sort of visual variation, I suppose. Just that it sort of looks more satisfying. So instead of like, or maybe you do a few small rocks. So you're sort of still filling out. You're still filling out the space in the same way. Brassicas are very hungry plants with high nitrogen, potassium soil. Broccoli definitely has flowers. I'm sort of trying to start learning about soil types. We bought like a bag of really acidic oil that I know some things like more, but I'm not too sure what's in it. But yeah, we've really dropped the ball on gardening this year because just because of release and everything. I was the busiest in the summer. So it's all kind of sat in the shed at the moment, but I'm hoping next year we'll get back into it. Do potted plants eventually exhaust the soil they're in? Yeah, I believe so, don't they? They literally, the soil level will deplete because the soil is becoming the plant. So you need to top up the soil. Not very quick because most plants are water. but it's got there's a term, I think, when the soil level goes down because it's all being gobbled up. Most plants are air. Is that right? Not water. I know this character is called Harriet. I think they're a serious character. They might be gloomy. I should probably look that up. Bear with me. Diving into the database. Hacking in. Carbon that makes up most of it. Okay. But yeah, some of it's soil. It is amazing though if you ever like cut a plant down or whatever and then just like leave it, it will eventually the size of the plant just vanishes. Here we go, Harriet. Oh, sorry, that was me. I swear I'm on Do Not Disturb. Oh, that was telling me I just signed into Notion. Sorry about that. Jump scares. I'll close my emails. Harriet. Serious broccoli. Okay. And yeah, there's a few ways I could do the eyes. I want to avoid doing the obvious thing. But I never know whether to do this on stream because I usually end up. They're going to be a tall character actually. I think there's a limit to how tall the characters can be because I think they need to literally fit in the menu. I may have gone overboard, but I think the menu should adapt. Maybe. Maybe there should just be a way to fade the top of the character's head out if they do have a particularly tall head. Quite like that actually. Oh no, I did it the wrong way around. That's okay. I'm drawing the whites over the pupils. So I could put the eyes up here maybe. The mouth will follow. Nah. Most of the characters have it low down. The long face. I mean, we could be here all day if we just want to make goofy faces. This is a serious stream. Every time I do characters, I get stuck for hours making silly faces. I think I spend hours trying to make serious faces, but they end up just looking silly. Such are the woes of the artist. I think it's funny how much a chin shapes how you perceive a character, I think. I mean, that's kind of... like, if I do that, you read the character differently than if they had a very kind of pointed, small chin. Give it a tooth. I don't think it's going to have a tooth, Paddy. Like a snaggle tooth? I don't know if they have teeth. Whenever someone asks me to Photoshop something for them, I always send them a photo of their face getting liquefied first. Do they appreciate that? I feel like I had a lot... well, I don't know if that's client work. I've got a lot of clients who, if I did that, I don't think they'd find it funny. Vampire Brock. He's a little bit vampire-y. My wife didn't think it was funny. Boo. Oh. That was the worst fake jump I've ever done in my life. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I could give it vampire teeth for the seas, for the holiday. It was meant to be boots. Well, you can't just go type in boo. Can't just go type in boo. Down with people who don't find silly photoshopping funny. Party of 5. Thank you, Kazoo and friends. Welcome in, guys. How's it going? Happy Halloween. Hope you guys like broccoli. If I sent you guys on a raid, what would you start typing? Hopefully brassica. I'm definitely a broccoli enjoyer. Love a good broccoli. I hope you guys eat your greens. This is a stream for greens eaters. Greens eaters stay winning. Broccoli are friends, not food. I just had a salad. Welcome in. It's too easy for you. Wait, what time is it where you are? Was it a morning salad? Definitely in the right place. A big part of the game was realising that I couldn't have vegetables and apples and things that you could eat, because the characters were the vegetables and apples. Which is why we went down the herb route. I do still think I might go down the mushroom route, even though we do have some mushroom characters. A night salad I had right before I started streaming. How long did it take to come to that realization? Not very long. It wasn't. It wasn't very long at all. There's very early footage of the game, where the character opens their inventory and they've got an apple. It's like the very first. Oh, we've got to follow. Does the graphic work? Oh, thanks, it's because we're in friends. So it always takes me ages to pull it up and see. But thank you for the follow. But yeah, the very first item I ever added to the game was an apple. So, and the very first character I added to the game was an apple. So maybe that's where I all started realising. Thanks, Kizzy. But yeah, but then I think it opened up the avenue to make things about brewing teas and things, because I was like, well, if you can't pick apples, maybe you could pick thyme. And if you can't make a meal, maybe you could be brewing teas. And I think it all fell into place. Are you going to do a carnivorous plant as a bad guy? I never thought about that. Venus flytraps. Are there other carnivorous plants? There are those big Are they flowers that kind of slowly consume things? Pitcher plant. Because isn't that... What's the... Oh, yeah. The whole jug thing. What's the plant that smells famously really bad? Isn't that carnivorous? I'm not sure what it's called. But it's like... Oh, is it just called a corpse plant? Corpse flower. Because yeah, I think the reason it smells is because it attracts flies, things that want to be eaten, dead things, and so it's replicating that. These chaps don't look too happy about moving that. Oh no, would that be smelling? I'm not sure. Aurum Lily. See, I was going around Osborne House last year, and as you do, and they had some really bad smelling lilies. I think they were black. Yeah, really smelt of like clothes you forgot to hang out to dry, Aurums are good. Okay. But there are bad smelling lilies, right? Is it lilies that smell? Yeah. So we were. I learnt not all flowers smell nice. But I did go and see the big corpse flower. I think they have one in the Eden Project, I think I saw, but it didn't smell. I don't know whether there are any smells of a certain time of year. I love a tea making game. I played Teacup not too long ago. Definitely need more. I feel like it's a good avenue of concocting things. I'm surprised it's not more commonly done. Why can't we craft things into teas? There's an iris called Stinkin' Iris. Maybe it's that. Oh, I don't know. I think it was a lily. You weren't brave enough? Delicious mouldy laundry. We've all been there. I got a memory of before I went on stream with Fern. They said, "Oh, I need to go put my laundry back in the wash because I'd forgotten about it for an hour or something." And then we got into a big discussion just before the stream about how long would you leave your laundry in the washing machine, having just been cleaned, before taking it out to dry. Because I think for me it's more, I'd go more than an hour. I think 24 hours probably not. That's too far gone. 12 hours, give it a whiff. That's one nice thing about living on the second driest continent of the planet. Your laundry gets dry. I mean, we bought a dehumidifier and it's insane. It just like sucks the moisture out. So I haven't worried about wet laundry for a while. It's a good purchase. It was a few years ago now, but it's still ticking away. Cambridge Botanic Gardens. I wonder how long they live. Big flowers. Just on Paddy's comment about adding a bad guy, I do remember toying with the idea of adding like a character that goes around stealing items, and it would give you all the items. Because I remember the save integrity was pretty poor, so the idea would be like, this was back in the day, if you lost any items, you'd be like, oh, it was stolen by like a kind of, what's his name of the Dora the Explorer? Swiper's been swiping. But it didn't come into fruition. Plants are very long lives. Flowers only open for a few days. For the corpus flower. And in the Eden project, they've got it in a big. I mean, maybe you need to, but in a big like greenhouse. So it must really stink the place out. I wasn't meaning to say this Brock looked like a vampire. No. I did get that. Don't worry, cheese. It took me a moment, but I did get it. Maybe I do need a vampire character. I thought the most vampiric fruit or veg would be. I guess garlic would be the obvious ironic one, right? I just feel weird giving a vegetable teeth. That seems wrong to me. So maybe I'll draw the line. But like just something with just a character that's a bit darker than. We don't have too many dark. I think people would appreciate that as well. Purple speared broccoli could have been a good one, actually. I didn't think about it. I just make it look a little bit sort of, a little bit of the night. A little bit spoopy. Ooh. Kind of thing that would have an upward turned collar. Antisocial garlic feels like it could have some fun stuff to explore. I don't remember how many garlics there are in the game. I've got it here. Garlic. Gareth. We don't have Gareth the garlic in the game yet, I don't think. These are so old. This takes me back to a different time. Most of these are in the game, I think. I have drawn Gareth the Garlic. In fact, I think he might even be... That's him there. I don't think he's in the game, because I'm not really too happy with this design. Some of these are really old. I'm glad I redrew Grant the Carrot. So these are just old. Heidi got a redesign. Herb still looks good. That's how he looks in game. Ida got a slight redesign. These are just old ones I had for reference on a layer. Herb got redesigned. Sam looks like he did. Irving, I can't remember if Irving's in the game. Oh, and this is Lester the Fig, I think? I might have redrawn them. Anyway. I feel like we drew a fig on stream before. I've got all these files. I feel like I drew a fig. I remember the fig, okay. Did they make it into the game? Is this is... That's Pixie's character. I feel like what I might have is one file with almost all of them I've drawn on stream. They might be hidden as well. I might have hidden them. Like, it hid the layer. The files, what are they for? I was doing a lot of file organising last week, and there's just no good way to do it. There's literally no good way to do it. It's a nightmare. I mean, this is a whole thing in game dev where, like, for instance, if I have a thing, say it's a character or a UI, it's got a file, that's pretty standard. But then you have, within that, every folder has a script folder and a sprite folder. For the scripts of that thing and the sprite for that thing. But what I didn't do is have a sounds folder, because sounds are their own folder, two hierarchies up, or whatever. And so instead, you got the sound folder, and I've slowly transitioned away from this, and the sound folder has within it a UI folder, and a folder for the different thing. And not everything has a sound, so it's not quite literally a carbon copy. But yeah, you need to realise quite sort of early on the kind of things you want nested within the thing. So sounds in the game, in terms of where they are at least, is a bit of a mess. I'm pretty proud of myself for having a decent script and sprite system though. And I also learned that no matter what folder something is in, always just name it. Just name it the folders that it's in. Saves you so much time. You just do like, well, not all of them, but you'll do like, or at least the main folder. So if it is a plant, just put the plant at the beginning of the file name underscore, because it's just so much easier to search. Long file names I haven't come into, apart from having to type them every time, haven't come into a downside. You can defer a lot more information. You've got to pick something and commit to it. I think it's okay to take the plunge though. But anyway, I was doing the same thing with my work, because previously, if I wanted to archive stuff, I would just drag and drop everything into a 2019 folder, say. And I quickly realised that if I had a client say, hey, like, message me today, and they're like, do you remember what I did? Do you remember that time we did a kids book or something in 2019? No, sorry, they wouldn't say 2019. Do you remember that time we did a kids book, because you fetched that out for me? And I just wouldn't, I'd have to guess the year that it was in. And so what I should do is client name, and then within each folder, the years, or name the projects by year. It gets pretty messy and awkward when you change filing schemes partway through a project. I'm trying to think. I've never had too big an issue with it. I'm always quite careful, like, so if if I know I do need to change something down the line, it's going to be fairly Control-F-able. Because I've learnt you can make certain things more or less Control-F-able. Like I realised you have like a variable, right? That would be like, or like a function, say. And I realised I was naming all of my UIs would have, I create a function called build slots or something. And then I realised you could actually name the functions like build inventory slots. And then that just makes it so much more searchable. If I can't find something, it's usually in the folder called stuff. I mean, we've all got a stuff folder. There's no shame in that. But the hope is that eventually it leaves the stuff folder. I end up struggling with the opposite when I want to find a project, but I don't know what the year it was from. Electronic equivalent of a junk drawer. I never call it stuff. I usually have a folder called to sort in full caps, like TO, or one word TOSRRT, and that's like, but the amount of times I just forget everything that's in there, so it doesn't really serve its purpose. With the idea that it's something I will sort later. Let's have a look at the garden path one now. We have very random collection of things. There's a couple of... Oh, there's a bunch of ambient sounds. I'm not sure why. I've got a contract in here. Oh, I've got my publishing agreement. That should probably not be in there. Why is that in there? Okay. Well, I thought I had that in a documents folder. It probably is. Maybe it's a copy of it. This is why it's bad. This is why you find a thing, you immediately sort it. Every time. I'm really bad with that for everything other than the garden path. For the garden path, for the actual game files, no matter what, it gets saved first time in the right place. Because it saves you so much headache. Carefully filed stuff. Oh, I've had a to organise folder that's been there since 2019. I mean, yeah, this is the thing. It's like me and my loft hatch. It's like every day you don't do it, and then you suddenly realise 3 days have passed. The last 900 days were days where you didn't do it. I know that sounds really obvious, but I carefully filed everything in my stuff partition for years. Yeah, I've got like a HDD drive where I keep most of my archived stuff, but I just don't know what I'm going to do with it long term. What do most people do with like these are old files I'm probably never going to look at again, ever, but I do need to keep from like 8 years ago. I just don't know what you do with that stuff. Do you chuck it on the cloud? Do you like go to Hetzner and get a bit of storage or something? I don't know, maintain it, because at least then it's in theory not going to disappear. Or do you buy HDD, plug it in, unplug it, put it in a drawer? Don't know. My code is the most organised of all my files. Yeah, I think I'd be exactly the same. I have a colleague who used a temp folder. Rachel, my partner, the whole folder she operates in, everything is in a folder called temp Rachel. It drives me crazy. It's like nothing in there is temporary. Well, for the most part. And I don't know why it's called that, but they can't rename it now because everything is linked, has that in its that's where it's rooted. I mean, you could do it, right? You could do it, but it would be like an hour or two work rerouting everything. Drives are pretty cheap these days. They are. So I might just bite the bullet on it. But I don't know how useful like a drive just sat in a drawer is. I don't know how reliable that is. I don't know how, like if I did need to go to it, like that's, like I'd have to open up my computer. There's probably a way to plug it in, right? USB, you can get the little USB converter things, right? It's just more things to think about. I'm also the person who managed to move everything off floppy disks 2 years ago. What did you have on floppy disks? Floppy disks were, I think, just before my time. If that makes you feel old. didn't really. I never. They were around. Like my dad had some, but I don't think I ever used a floppy disk. I don't think so. My uni dissertation. That's the other thing. Like, I've got all the essays I've ever written for school, and I don't know why. It just feels weird deleting them. Like, I've just put so much work in. It just feels weird. I don't know why. I can't think of whenever I would. When would I ever need them? I have a ton of Amiga floppies I want to try backing up recovering as soon as I get the time. Do you have to buy something now? How would you access the data? Would you need a special... Do they still sell, like, for exactly that situation? Sort of modern floppy disk readers, USB. I have a binder of my artwork from middle school and high school. That's artwork I kind of get. Artwork I kind of get. Because you can kind of look at it and you can kind of see how far you've come. But I've got, like, essays I've written on the grapes of wrath and stuff. Like... What am I going to do with that? I don't know. What good is it to anyone? Oh. But artwork I get. I think it's important to keep your old artwork because you look back at it and again, well, were you the person saying that you look back at your old stuff and you feel like you've gotten worse? Who was saying that? So maybe not. I remember I left my entire uni portfolio. I'd just gone to collect it after it being graded and I left it in a co-op by the self-checkout. And I did manage to get it back. But it was basically my entire... And I just remember thinking, man, like, I've done all the work and it's been graded, but it would just really suck if someone just took it home and had it in their house instead of it being in my house or something. As far as I know, a regular IBM compatible floppy drive won't read them properly or something. Oh, like they're a specific type of floppy drive. That's a nightmare. Ah, our digital lives. Well, coming to that point where I usually grab some lunch. We've done pretty well, I think. Two hours 20. Amigas are another type of PC from before IBM dominated the PC market. Hey, I don't instantly recognise Amiga. Oh hey, thanks for the follow. Windjam, thank you. I appreciate that. Second frog of the day. Second toad, I should say. Yeah, I want to try. I mean, I know I say this every single time, but I want to try and do some more of these. Because, and I think with the next content patch is going to be a fair bit of artwork, which is I think a good way to ease myself into them. I can't promise how regular they'll be. Tuesday streams we're getting back up to regular. But yeah, just if I can, just hitting the stream button. I know, but I say this every time, so I won't make any promises. I mean, I think it's been a couple of years since I last did one of these lazy streams. I've always wondered about getting like a really old PC, like a Commodore 64, and just tinkering around with it. We do still have like a Windows 98 PC that I used to use when I was a kid, knocking about. It might be fun to just kind of tinker around with it and see if it still boots, fix it up or something. I feel like I remember thinking that's not old enough of a computer, but every year it gets a year older. wonder if we're actually quite lucky that... I mean, I know some file systems don't agree with each other, but we're quite lucky that files... maybe not. I know, obviously there's a lot of proprietary files, but for the most part, computers work between each other. Cassettes. Just can't imagine it these days, can you? Well, I hope everyone has a good Halloween, whatever you might be doing, even if it's not anything in particular. I'll be streaming with Kat, I believe, on Tuesday. That'll be the usual 3 PM GMT slot. The true horrors of Halloween, the old tech. It's the oldest tech I've got, I'm not sure. I mean, I was actually saying to someone the other day, if someone gave me a DVD, I don't even know what I'd do with it now. Like, I've got no way of plugging it into a PC. It's just funny how like every laptop in the day used to have a DVD drive. How quickly these things go obsolete. I'm pretty happy with this cat, this cool cat, Harriet the Broccoli. Missed the days when things had ports, yeah. Yeah. I like a good I like a good port. And the most excellent broccoli. I love the floral hair. Well, hopefully it won't be long till they see the garden. I do need to do the back head side of the head shouldn't take too long. That'll be a fun project. It's the worst bit is drawing the back of the head. I mean, I usually just copy and paste the front, flip it, and then darken it. That generally is the vibe. And it usually works out enough that you don't question it. But some characters it's a bit more of a pain, depending on a few factors. But anyway, right guys, I'm gonna go get lunch. Thanks so much for joining me on this Thursday morning. It's been good. We got, what was the name of those? What was the name of that rodent type thing? The Tenrec. There he is. Is that the best picture of a Tenrec I could get? Whoa, that one looks... Okay, we're going to chill out with this one. What a delightful creature. Chilling out in the woods. Right, okay, guys. Stay hydrated. Take care. Be good to yourselves. And I'll see you probably on Tuesday.